Hi guys, so this is Shady with Shady Creations Co. And I have been getting a lot of questions about my 20 ounce Hogs Clorox or Lysol cups. And I was on one of my Tumblr pages and I said that I was going to go ahead and show everyone how I do it. So basically, yesterday what I went ahead and did, I have 3 to do today, but I'm only going to actually show you guys just one. So the materials that you'll need for today is, of course, your water, because we're using white Waterslide. You're going to need some type of tape, a tape measure. This is optional, but they really do help with the water slides. Some type of paper or some type of toilet paper or something to that nature. And of course you're going to need the 20 ounce. And you're going to need the white water slide paper. So with the white water slide paper, I actually got this from Amazon. I think it was like $20 if I'm not mistaken, for 20 sheets. So fairly good. Okay. And so what I went ahead and did is I prepped my cup yesterday, and I sanded it down, and I went ahead and cleaned it up and spray painted it white. And then last night I went ahead and epoxied all 3 of them that I'm going to be doing today. So they are dry. It's been probably about 24 hours or so since they've been epoxied. Okay, so then now the first step to doing this is, of course, you're going to have your decal. I'm going to show you guys off of the most popular decal, which is the Clorox one, and it's right here. This is how it looks before I cut it in half. Okay, so I took my 20 ounce cup and I tape it off. I try to get it as even as possible. It's okay if it's not even. You just kind of got to know how to measure it. So I usually take it from the bottom and go all the way around, just like that. Like I said, it doesn't have to be exactly even, but get it as best as you can. So then I take my measuring tape. Oops, wrong side. And I basically measure from right here to the other side of the black. Okay, with my measuring tape, my measuring numbers, so for the 20 ounces, I had to write them down, sorry. So the width I have 5.5 and the height is 7.8. Okay, and then that would be for my front decal. As you can see, like, the front decal is bigger than the back decal. And then for the back decal, I have 3.5 and 7.8. Okay, so the heights are going to match. It's just the widths of the back and the front that are going to be different. And basically, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I like to do the front first, because that is going to be the biggest. So I like to just make sure that it's going to fit on there really well. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and dip it in my water. Let me show you the spray paint that I actually used to seal this with. Give me 1 second. Let me go find it because I don't know where I put it at. Okay, sorry, you guys have to excuse me for that. This is my first video. I thought I was prepared, but I guess not. Okay, so what I usually use for these cups are the Crayon, the triple thick. But however, when I went to Home Depot, because I didn't feel like going into Walmart, they only had this one, as you guys can see. But I was told that it was going to work just as fine, so hopefully it does, but I will definitely let you guys know. Okay, so my water is at like room temperature right now. It was a little bit hot and I let it sit for a while before I'm going to go ahead and dip it in. So what I want to do now is, I'm gonna actually do it on this side. I'm gonna wet my cup. Move this out the way right now. Wet it all up. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna dip it in my water. I'm gonna let that sit in the water, move it around a little bit, let it sit in the water for about 60 seconds or so, until the decal starts to lift from the white piece of paper. And that's how I'm going to want it. I do mine a little bit different from everyone else because that is what works for me as far as the way that I'm gonna apply this decal. So I'm just gonna keep it wet, make sure that it stays wet. You have to excuse me, I have a puppy and I don't know where she went in the back of the couch. Okay, so if you hear any noises, it's definitely her. My son is already asleep. Okay, so now that that's been dipped, I'm gonna kind of dry it off a little bit in a sense, get the excess water off. Okay, so this is how my decal looks. Now, what I found best, the first one that I've ever did and I wrapped it, it came out terrible. So what I found with the white is to take it and to pull it off. Okay, I'm pulling it off. Now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to take this and put it onto my cup. Now mind you, my cup was already wet, so I'm able to slide this on here just like this. Okay, and I kind of want to get it, make sure that it's even, make sure that my lines are good, make sure I don't have anything, but I don't want to put it all the way on there just yet. Okay, making sure my lines are good. There we go. Now I know I have water in between here, which that's fine. I want to keep that water in between because I'm gonna have to get it out in a minute to get the cup even and straight. Okay, so that's how it looks, and let me go ahead and get this water out. So this is why I said the squeegee or what, a rubber brush is good. So I'm gonna go ahead, get it out like this. Get all of those up out of there. And as you guys can see, I'm going from the middle to the side because I'm going to do the other side in a minute. I like to just do one side at a time because it's easier to get it pretty straight. And my dog's over here now, so I'm gonna get these all up out of there like that. I love working with the white water slide. It actually works really well. These were my first cups that I did with a white water slide. I tried the regular water slide on a Louis Vuitton cup and I hated how it came out. So anytime that I'm gonna try to do like a wrap on a cup, I'm gonna use the white water slide paper because it's been working amazing for me. Okay, just getting all of that out of there, just like that. Getting it out. Making sure that all of that water is out of there. Making sure that I don't have any water underneath there, because that's very important, because once it dries, there will be lines showing. And sometimes to get those lines out, you may need to remove the decal, which pretty much sucks. I mean, it's happened to all of us, I'm pretty sure, but yeah. Okay, so that is how it looks. So now I'm just gonna wipe it down. I want to wipe it down just to see, make sure that I have it all out. I have a few lines in here that I need to work up out of here. Okay. All right. So this is the first part of it. Okay, I'm gonna set that to. Okay, so here is my back decal, and here is how the front looks. As you guys can see, it looks really smooth and nice. Okay, so now I'm gonna dip the back decal for about the same amount of time, 30 to 60 seconds as well. And I'm just going to wet this. I did let the front dry a little bit before I started doing this on the back side, just because I didn't want water to get underneath the decal that I already laid. So I did let it dry a little bit. So that's why I'm picking up here in the middle of the video. Okay, let me check, and it looks like it is lifting from the paper, which is great. That's what we want it to do. So now I'm going to take it and I'm going to peel it back carefully. Okay, and then I'm going to make sure the cup is wet enough. I'm going to make sure that is wet. And I'm going to slide it on here. Okay, and then I'm going to try to even it up. As you can see, it is going to overlap just a little bit, because it's hardly impossible to get it perfect, which that's fine. You're not going to be able to actually tell once I put the epoxy on. Okay, so there we are. Here is the back side. Okay, and now I just want to make sure that I do have it somewhat even onto there. Okay, and then I'm going to, now what I'm actually going to do is do it this way. I'm going to put them on like this so that I do not get water under my other decal. And I'm gonna just try my best to get all the water out of there on the back side. I should be really doing this on here. I always make that mistake. Okay, you see I have a bubble right here, and I'm just gonna push it out. Push that out right there. Try to get all of that out. Okay. I'm still seeing a little bit of water underneath there. So I want to dry it. Make sure I don't feel any water bubbles. There's one right there. And when I do epoxy these, I do put a little bit of my like sparkle mica powder in my epoxy, just because, especially, I mean, if they're for a girl, I definitely do that. Of course not for a guy, but if they are for a girl, I will put the little sparkles in there, just because I think it looks very cute with it. And there we are. So here it is. Okay, and then I'm going to put the epoxy on. I'm going to let this sit and dry, and then I will epoxy it, and I will show you guys the final result when I am completely done with this and it is ready to ship out.